Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Beau and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Beau's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and not too much motivations that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we use is a little tug and release on the training collar. That is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Beau is going to come home with his own training equipment, and you'll be taught how to use that properly tomorrow during your follow-up training session. Now, if you notice, Beau is very controlled, sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Wow. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Beau, heel. Now at this point, Beau has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when walking. When you stop your feet, Beau's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. If he doesn't sit, Fred will say no, sit, and give that little tug that we talked about. That time he sat perfectly on his own. Fred talks to him to keep him focused, and each time Fred stops his feet, he sits automatically. So when you're walking on the street, especially in the shore towns in the summertime, you want to have him right there next to your left leg, focused and paying attention. He's looking up at Fred for direction, and the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand on the voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you do not use his name. This is a self-control exercise. It teaches him focus and maturity and the ability to pay attention for longer. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction, returning all the way back to Beau's shoulders, and they take off heeling again. And this is a great way to interact with your puppy during the course of your day, so that you're asking him to perform his skills for you. You're giving him that one-on-one attention that he needs, but he's not constantly amped up. He's thinking, he's focused, he's paying attention. Nice automatic sit. Okay. The stay command. Fred goes out to the end of his leash and he turns to face him. And you see that Beau is focused. I'm a bit of a distraction with this camera, but he's looking at Fred. And this time Fred will use his name. He lightens his tone of voice and he's going to call him. And he's to come and sit. So he's come a very long way in the time that he's been with us. And we really appreciate you leaving him for the extra week. He needed it. And he's doing a great job. Fred encourages him to match pace with him. Okay. Leaves him in another sit stay. Walks out to the end of his training leash and turns to face the dog. And then he's going to use his name this time and call him. Whoops. Well, that was enthusiastic come. But he did come right away. And that's what you want. Very nice. So here's Beau being the best puppy that he can be, and you can share it with the family if they can't be here for the lesson. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your series of down commands. The first one is the down from a heel position. So with him seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. This exercise is basically best practiced right in your living room because you have no reason to have your dog laying down on the street. You're going to start out at about a minute. You're going to work up to 5. It's okay. Now when he breaks, that's exactly what you do. You go back and you make him complete the exercise the way it was taught. When Fred returns back to him, he returns exactly as he did on the sit stay. All the way back around to heel, he stops at Beau's shoulders, and then Beau expects to get another command. And now certain things are expected of him. Before there was no expectations. He was just a puppy doing puppy stuff. Now there's certain expectations that we're putting on him, and that is that you pay attention, and when we give you a command, you execute it. Down, stay. And you don't have to raise your voice. Fred's barely talking to him above a whisper, and you can see how focused he is. This time Fred will call him out of that. He comes in and sits. That was very well done. That's a proper come. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate is not Beau's all-time favorite, and that's the down from a distance. He's still a little shaky on this. He'll continue to get better with practice. Stay. Fred leaves him in a sit stay. He's not going to go too far away from him because Beau will crawl in. He's going to use his right hand to give the command. There, and then he can give him a stay and he can back further away. And we'll lengthen out time and distance on this over the course of the summer. Now, we have demonstrated for you all of Beau's formal on-leash obedience commands. We will have written instructions for you, and our job is to make your life easier as you're raising this puppy. We've enjoyed having him, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and we will see you very soon.